Hey there, happy Sunday, it's me Victor. Hopefully you're having a great weekend. Just gonna do a video for the YouTube channel. Just pretty much about just what I'm looking and what I'm long over the weekend. Again, all these are for educational purpose only, alright, not stock advice. Hopefully I've been watching the past two videos I've uploaded. Just going over how I trade some things. But yeah, we're just gonna go over and talk about some things that's on my mind. Once more, I'm not gonna sit here and claim you I am a millionaire trader or consistent. I'm not yet. I'm just en route of becoming and cataloging my journey. That's what I do these for, and hopefully you can learn something from this. But as I always say, take something from this away. Don't try to copy me. That is the beauty of trading. Everyone's gonna be different. Do not try to copy other traders, okay? But everyone's been talking about open. The stock in front of you. Again, as I always say, the really main thing you need to focus on in the beginning is this momentum. That's really all you need. Again, I don't know who you are as a trader. In the beginning, you're not going to know what to do, and that's perfectly fine. But it's just the stock in front of you is really what you want to focus on. Stocks that can make the biggest moves and can exponentially grow your account. Again, people always say, what's the news on this particular stock? The news does matter, but sometimes at the end of the day, all that matters is price action. All that matters at the end of the day is the price. When it's come down to it, the price is all that matters. And this is purely a pump. It's a pump. Someone's pumping this. I'm not sure who it is. Hopefully congrats to them if they got it to go higher. But I want you in a couple of years, if you watch this down the road, this company will likely be gone or back to zero. One or the other. I pretty much bet everything. I bet everything. Because most of these companies in the small cap sector land are shit. Most of them will go bankrupt in the long run. Your job, as I mentioned, is to focus on price and take advantage of the market inefficiencies and just focus on the momentum to grow your account. And this has pretty much been the first big runner we've seen in this current market environment. We're kind of in the overall markets. I guess we're kind of in this range right now. As I always say, like, I'm pretty much primarily, I guess, swing trader. I would say I don't like day trading that much anymore. Just a lot harder, in my opinion. But as I always say, I mean, like, for swing trading, you want the moving averages to be surfing, and they are. So we're in good standing right now to say so. But yeah, hopefully we have some retracement, because I mean, you want to have action, you know. But open is one of those stocks that, this is what I do over and over again. You know, I don't like chasing the initial run up here. Sometimes the best moves offer whenever they come back and retrace towards these moving averages. That's really my bread and butter, is when a stock makes a big move, comes back, or bases and has another leg higher. And sometimes the best stocks that do that take a while. They have to consolidate, as you see here. You know, this consolidated for about a couple of weeks before they had the initial range break. Right there. There's numerous, along with these patterns I'm about to show you, there's numerous opportunities to buy. Okay, don't think that you don't want to chase it up here. That's one of the worst things to do. Because look, this is above the moving averages. It's not ideal to buy there. You want to buy it as it's breaking the ranges there, you know, there, even there. But as higher this goes above the moving averages, it's just the risk reward shifts, and it's not really favorable on your side. But I've noticed over the course of the years I've been doing this, the biggest moves take time to develop in the markets. It's just how it works. And number two, you want volume. You want a story. You want something, a reason, fuel for something to go up as a long. And look at the volume. I mean, the volume has been consistent. Nearly 570 million last Friday. The volume has been consistent, and everyone's just waiting for a blow off top. I did get long over this 550 level. I'm still holding my swing. Again, trail 10 days. My methodology is what I do. So ideally, we'll see what happens. This can do something crazy. You know, everyone's waiting for pretty much like a parabolic short, like we've seen here. You know, a gap up and we need like an exhaustion candle, I feel, for to have a backside. But who knows? It's just follow what the market says. Just like we've seen last year, this year actually, BMRD. Is that the one? Wait, BMND. Which was a stock that ran that was 5-star. And this is what you want to do. You want to I use FinViz, but you want to study past movers. Past movers is all you really have. Because I've noticed as well, and you will notice this, the more you look at charts, the more you look at the leaders in the overall market, it's pretty much the same setups over and over again on those stocks. I'm trying to find a particular stock which was 5-star. On a 5-star scale, it was probably a 5. No, it was a 5. Or a 10, one of them. It was in last July. I think it's BMRD, I believe. I'm not sure. I gotta find it. But on the weekends, just utilize your time to study the market. As I always say, 90% plus are gonna fail in the long run. And I have it here. 90% will fail in the long run. BMNR. Is that the one? Yes, BMNR. This is a 5-star setup. Look at this. I'm not saying Open is going to do something like this. No, this is just my bread and butter. You have a stock that makes an initial run sideways, then opening range highs, and I did buy it. I even bought it. I pretty much anticipated this, and I nailed it. I didn't hold all the way to 161. There's no way. I sold, I believe, in the hundreds. That's just an outlier. That was a gift. But I'm not saying Open's going to do something like that. This is an example of a type of stock that, at the end of the day, no one looking back at it, no one thought this was going to go from the low of $4 to the high of 161. No, but it just shows you that price action is the only thing that matters in the end. Okay, and I'm not saying at all. Don't quote me on this. I'm not saying that Open is gonna go to 100. No, but look at the long-term chart. The float on this is extremely thin, and always pay attention to volume. Look at the volume. Okay, beaten down. Short interest is extremely high. So who knows what's gonna happen? It's all about expectations. You want to follow the herd, and the herd on this is extremely bullish. And we'll see what happens. But that is on that one, and pretty much that, And we'll go over some other ones, but I really want to emphasize to you that whoever you are, this is what you need to do. I have 2 setups I track over and over again. Well, 3. Opening range highs, and EPs, daily reactions and flag patterns. Those are really the main ones. But I have a database for those particular setups in here. And this is what you should do. I built this. This is just for 1 year. This year, and I'm not even done yet. I have one of these for every year I've been doing this. It's been 6 years, but over those 6 years, I've pretty much focused on these 3 setups. Because in the previous, I would say first 4 years, I was doing a lot of randomness, and I want to urge that to you, that if you do randomness, you get random results. And it's just not favorable. You want to hone your methodology on 1 or 2 key things and do it over and over again. Even like NEG. NEG was a 5-star setup. 5-star. Just beautiful. But yeah, just study the weekend. Use FinViz, look at the hottest stocks in this year, and just focus on stock charts. That's really all you have to do, okay? But Open, I'm long, ideally trail 10 day. We'll see what happens. But let's just go over some I'm watching here. Hour is one I'm watching. It was a big percent gainer on Friday. Another really low float runner. There's no really particular news on this. I believe they reported. There's no news on this. It's just momentum. And the reason why I'm watching this, I think everyone's trying to find the next Open to say. So I'm watching it. This is for sure. Look at the long-term chart. This has been neglected over the past couple. Had a big run back in the day. Again, past performers can run again. Focus on that. So I'm just watching it. It's a backlist play. It pretty much is holding its ranges. You can see how I wanted to break 460 to pivot. So I'm watching that one over 460. Again, we'll see what happens. I think everyone's trying to find the next Open, so everyone's going to be chasing stuff. So I'm watching that one. Same with pineapple. I believe this is real estate. Same type of deal with open, same sector type of ranges. Well, what is this? What is this? I'm not sure what the news is. Launches 100 million digital asset treasury. I don't know. Again, most of this news means nothing with these small cap. They do, but it's all about momentum. Same type of deal. I'm gonna look at the long-term chart. Friday it halted numerous times. But I look at this chart here. Okay, this is what you want to see. The ADR is extremely high, 24%. So I'm watching it. It's a backlist. I'm watching it. Over $8. If it hits, then it's send me a potential signal. Who knows what could happen. Same thing with Duo. This is a 5-star setup, liquidity trap. I missed it. But this is pretty much what I'm looking for on PayPal, an hour, as you see on Duo. You have that sideways. Let me see. You have the sideways action, and you have on this pretty much the next day the range break, open range highs. And of course, I missed it, and I didn't buy it because I didn't want to chase. And it's not really well, but it's still basing really well. So I want to watch this one for sure. Over $4 or even over $3.80. I'm gonna watch it for potential more continuation because the volume is there. As I say, look left to see the right. It has ran in the past, and the volume is there. So it's just momentum stock. Again, I think everyone's trying to find the next open. It's pretty much getting like FOMO to say. So I'm watching that one. If not, cool, whatever. Same type of deal with RLMD. Same type of deal with liquidity trap. This one is very thin though, so it's fine. But it's over 180 on that one. And most of these are just going to be the same type of plays over and over again. Like on INHD, this is 5-star. This is pretty much what I'm looking for on these small cap plays. You don't have to catch the initial run like you see here. Most of the best ones consolidate. Okay, and I did buy this one. I got it extremely well. Over I got it at 620, and I sold too soon. But it's fine. It's okay. But it's still setting up very nicely. I like how it's holding its ranges. I like how it held the 10-day here. So I'm gonna watch this to see if it has another potential leg higher over 1030. We'll see. But if not, it's for ranges to say. But this is pretty much what I go for. It's my bread and butter to say. Let's see, nothing else here. But as I was saying, yeah, pretty much all the setups pretty much are eerily similar to INHD. That's the one I'm going kind of like showing you, like run for instance. You know how this is a large cap sector, well not probably mid cap, but you see how it's basing in that range break. It's pretty much what you want on a stock. Sometimes it takes time to develop, but yeah. Jumia, for instance, this has been a retail favorite. Watching this one for sure. I love how it based off the 10-day and have a nice bounce. Who knows, over 950 on that one. Again, the stocks I'm showing you, I'm not trading all these. It's just I have an idea. So whenever price alerts hit, I know what to do in a scenario. Not all of these are tradable. It's just good to know. SMTK as well, same type of deal. Liquidity trap, look at the ADR is 25%. Long-term chart is neglected. I don't believe there's no news on this. I'm not sure. Probably is, but same type of deal, over $2. Momentum. Duluth Trading is one I'm watching for a potential delayed reaction. They had earnings reported last Thursday, and I'm just watching it. Long-term chart has been neglected, so it's one of those. Look at the volume. This can be, I guess, classified as an EP if you like. They have positive growth, so we'll see. Over $4, $4.20. We'll see for potential delayed reaction. On this one, a delayed reaction sometimes happens on stocks. As I mentioned on EPs, really, again, everyone has their own definition of an EP, but just because it gaps up doesn't make it an EP. It has to be neglected, has to have massive volume, has to have a positive outlook, and it's one of them I'm watching. Over $4 to say. or 420. Because a perfect example of a delayed reaction recently in the markets, which one was? I'm trying to think on my top of my head. Iron, I guess. Iron was one of them. I suppose so, but it failed. You know, this is what you kind of want to see. A gap up. Well, this is not an EP because it came from the lows of $9.30. You know, but well, Jumia was a good reaction. I'm sorry, Jumia was a 5-star delayed reaction. You know, you have the gap up EP there in the red day and the range break. So that would be a perfect example. And that's pretty much what I'm looking for on Duluth. But if it happens, it happens. If not, oh well. OPAD is one I'm watching, low cap sector play. Another potential liquidity trap. Same type of setup. I did get long over this range break here. Again, pretty much the exact same thing. I'm trying to show you what I do. Big run up, 2 days of sideways, sometimes 6, 3, 4, whatever, and the range break, you know, and I got long. And most of the time, I'm aiming to swing these after I get long, but I've noticed in the market environment that most of them have been giving back their gains, and that's something that I'm trying to adapt to. You know, it takes, as a trader, your job is to adapt. You know, the best traders are be able to adapt their system, and you know, because edges go away as the market evolves. You know, and I'm learning on that one, but it's still setting it very nicely. I like how it's going sideways here. So we can see anything over 550 on that one. BE is a perfect example of what a swing trade should look like. And I did get long over this gap, but I sold too soon. I sold way too soon. I think I got stopped out, I believe, like this day here, because I got scared because it went below 10-day. But look at it now. You know, look how orderly. This is what you want to see as a trader. You know, it's not random. You know, it's holding the 10-day, it's surfing the moving averages, EP day there, and just look how beautiful, look how, sorry about that, the video cut out. But as I was saying on BE, this is pretty much what you want to see. Look how orderly, look how perfect this looks, you know, on the daily chart. It's not random, it's not choppy. And again, as I mentioned earlier, the best EPs, the best moves take time to develop. You know, I had its first EP day back last year, and looked at the consolidation. Took quite a while to do, but sometimes the best stocks do that. And it had a gap up there, and pretty much look how far we've come since then there. And yeah, just on these, you want to trail 10-day. I have no position. I got stopped out, as I mentioned, but that is that one. Another long-term one outlook is watching is Tesla. Again, look how long this has gone sideways. I do believe if this does break over 360, over this really area here, who knows? By this, it's a backlist when I'm watching. But other than that, it's pretty much all. The other ones I'm just watching, you know, nothing crazy. Again, you don't have to trade every day. Just take a piece of the move. Coles is the meme play I'm watching, over 17, it's a backlist one. But yeah, just focus. Move is one as well I'm watching. Potential liquidity trap over 120. Momentum. Neglected, look at the volume. But as I mentioned, you don't have to trade every day, alright? Don't think so. As I mentioned earlier, just because these stocks are on my radar doesn't mean I'm going to trade them. No, it just, I have price alerts set. Alright? But other than that, hopefully you'll have a great trading week. Again, always come in the market with a game plan. Do not trade randomness or you're going to get random results. Again, you don't have to trade every day. Okay? I pretty much come to the market open if I know I'm here on my screen for like 2 hours. That's it. 2 hours, and I go away and I come back probably around before market close. You know, I don't need to sit here all the time, and I get trading alerts on my phone, so if price alerts hits, I know, okay, go back to the screens and see what's going on. But I don't like sit here and like look for a trade. No, I just take what the market gives me. That's pretty much what I do. But other than that, y'all have a great one, and I'll see y'all next time.